In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix a frozen shoulder at home. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over easy at-home exercises designed for a frozen shoulder, also known as adhesive capsulitis. That's when scar tissue builds in a shoulder, significantly impacting range of motion and causing a lot of pain and discomfort. Pain that tends to be felt in the front part of the shoulder, off to the side, in the back, around the shoulder blade, even into the arm. It occurs in 3 separate stages. The first being the freezing that progresses into the frozen stage. This is where most issues are going to be experienced, and then into the rehabilitative phase, the thawing stage. These exercises are designed for the thawing stage. If you're in the beginning stages, or if you're just uncertain, you're having a lot of new shoulder issues, I do recommend consulting with your local doctor first to rule out anything major like a tendon tear. These exercises are designed to be done daily, and they can be done at home and require no special equipment. As a note, this will not be an overnight process. This could take several weeks, if not months, to significantly improve shoulder range of motion and lessen pain. So let's get started and fix that frozen shoulder at home right now. Let's begin with one of my favorite ways to rehabilitate a frozen shoulder at home, which is the stick method. We just need something long and sturdy that's roughly about 4 feet long. A broomstick works perfectly. You can use a PVC pipe if you don't have any of those. Go out in the yard and grab a big stick. But I'm going to go through 4 different motions that tend to get locked up with a frozen shoulder. And the beauty with the stick method is that we're going to be able to actively stretch into them. That is just going as far as you're normally able to go, but we can also use the stick to passively stretch into it even further to get better results. The first 2 you can do lying flat on your back in bed. So let's start with shoulder flexion. That is raising the shoulders overhead just like this. I'm going to grab onto the stick. My hands are going to be roughly shoulder width apart. I want to keep my elbows locked straight during this exercise. I want everything in the back too to be nice and relaxed and flat on the bed. So the shoulder blades, the upper back, the back of the head, all nice and relaxed and flat. Let's slowly lower the stick down as much as we can actively until we feel a deep but tolerable stretch into the shoulders. Again, these need to be tolerable. Don't go to the point of agony. Once we hit that very deep stretch, we're going to hold this one for about 15 to 20 seconds. Do nice, slow, controlled breathing too. Relax as much as you can. From there, take a breather, and then you're going to repeat this. On the next repetition, try to stretch into it just a little bit more. Challenge yourself to get more range of motion, but only to a tolerable point. We're going to do this one for about 3 to 5 repetitions. Next, we're going to go into our passive stretch. When it comes to a frozen shoulder, generally people will have one bad shoulder, one good side. You want to use the good side to drive further into this stretch to challenge the bad side. That is that passive stretch. So use the good side right here to just stretch into it just a little bit more. This might cause a momentary increase of pain, but again, do not go to the point of agony. 15 to 20 second hold, you're going to relax, take a breather, and then repeat this one up to 5 times. Next, let's focus on abduction or abduction of the shoulder. I always think of this one as kind of like making a snow angel. It's that nice arc off to the side of raising the arm. So I'm going to lie flat again. I'm going to take the stick with the good side and grab at one end. The painful side is going to grab at the other. I'm going to actively just raise my arm and shoulder up like this as much as I can until I feel that deep stretch. 15 to 20 second hold, you're just going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this one 3 to 5 times, stretching into it just a little bit more. Then we're going to go into the deeper passive stretch. So I'm going to take the good side and I'm going to get into that active stretch, but then take the good side, press into it even more with this stick right here. You're going to feel a deep, intense stretch. 15 to 20 second hold, relax, Repeat it 3 to 5 times and always challenge yourself to build into it just a little bit more. For the next 2 exercises, it's best done standing upright with very good posture. We're going to focus on rotation of the shoulder. Let's start with external rotation, that is taking it outward just like this. So what I'm going to do is take the bad side, and I tend to alternate grips with the stick on this one, is I take the palm side facing upwards like this, grip into the stick. The good side is going to go palm side down. The movement is very easy. Let's start with the active movement first. I'm going to try to keep my elbows bent at 90 degrees, locked off to the side. I'm going to just take my elbow out, I should say my hand right here, out as much as I can with the bad side. So this good side really isn't doing anything at this point. I try to hold that one comfortably for about 15 to 20 seconds. From there, I just relax and repeat this one 3 to 5 times, building into it just a little bit more with each repetition. Now we're going to build into the passive stretch, and finally our good side is going to start to press into it. So let's get into the active stretch first. Now the good side right here is going to drive this stick over even further, creating a very deep and intense stretch into that shoulder. Only go to the point that you can tolerate. Hold this one 15 to 20 seconds. You're going to relax and then repeat this one 3 to 5 times. And if you do have a frozen shoulder on both sides, you can do this on both sides. Next, let's focus on internal rotation, that is bringing the arm in like this. So I'm going to take the bad side right here, and I'm going to grip at the bottom of the stick just like this. The good side is going to be overhead. The movement is very easy. I'm going to take the good side right here, the hand, and then lift upward as much as I can. The more that you go up with it, the more that you're going to feel a deep stretch into the shoulder. I try to hold this one for about 15 to 20 seconds. I relax, and then I'm going to repeat this one 3 to 5 times. This is what I like to joke and call wax on, wax off, because it's inspired by one of my favorite 1980s movies. I'm going to be using a sock for this one, and it's going to look a little bit goofy. So if you don't want to look goofy, you can also use a towel or a pillowcase, but I find the sock works the best. You're just going to put it over the bad side, just like this. I'm going to go next to a smooth door or a wall. Have very good upright posture. Put your arm in front of you, straight at the elbow. Push the hand, palm side, into the door like this for a little bit of a stable anchor point. The first movement is very easy. What we're doing are small circles. Doesn't matter if you go clockwise or counterclockwise, because we're going to do it both. The key is start small, and with each circle go just slightly a little bit bigger. Where you're going to notice as these shoulder circles get a little bit bigger, they get more challenging because it's putting more range of motion in there. So what you want to do is keep doing this until you start to feel like you're addressing restrictions, like there's a lot of challenge with that frozen shoulder. That's when I start to make note of that and really try to build into that movement. Like let's say right here, creating this top arc for me is when I start to feel discomfort, it's tight, it's frozen. I slowly build into that movement over about 10 to 15 repetitions, and from there I try to relax and I try to throw in another set or two until it feels like it starts to release. From there I just keep making that circle bigger and bigger as much as I can tolerate. I then try to switch it up. So if you went counterclockwise with it, switch to counterclockwise. I should say if you went counterclockwise, switch to clockwise, because it's going to hit it just a little bit differently. You can also do different shapes. Try a square, just like this. Do X's. You can write your name. You can do the alphabet, any movement. You can also switch it up and put the back side of your hand against the door, because it's going to attack it just a little bit differently. The key is to identify movements that are frozen and build into them slowly through repetition. My favorite movement is the figure 8. So I really start at the top of the 8 by putting my hand up as much as I can until I feel an initial stretch, and then from there I make big wide circles to connect that 8. Doesn't matter what direction you go in, because again you're going to switch directions after you do this for about 10 to 15 repetitions. But experiment with that. Palm side towards the door and then the back side, and then switch up directions, always addressing and trying to find those movements that are causing those restrictions and that frozen shoulder. This frozen shoulder exercise is great because you can pretty much do it anywhere, including at work, and we're going to let gravity do all of the hard work for us. We just need a simple weight. A water bottle works, you can use a small dumbbell, a milk jug, anything that you can grip onto easily. Start off light, maybe a pound or two, and then over time progress into heavier weights to make it more challenging. Start with very good upright posture. If you have difficulty balancing with this, you can do it next to a door or a wall with stabilizing with your good side. But I'm just going to grip into that weight and just allow the weight to go downwards. Let gravity take it. You want your shoulder to just be relaxed, pretty much from the shoulder all the way down to the fingertips. From here, we're going to do a small swing from left to right, kind of like a pendulum. And with each swing, I'm going to make it just a little bit larger until I have a very big swing. At this point, you're probably going to start to run into restrictions, pain, and discomfort from that frozen shoulder. This is where I want to throw more repetitions in, maybe 10 to 15 of them, just slow and controlled, really focusing on trying to build into it. Afterwards, if you feel like it loosened up and you can make a bigger swing, move on. But if you need to, throw in another set or two. But always challenge yourself to get those bigger swings. You can also do the same process going forward and backwards, starting off with a small swing, going into a larger one, focusing on movements that need it the most. Then go into a circular motion. So nice small circle, doesn't matter if you start counterclockwise or clockwise. I just try to build into it over time, again, focusing on any movements that feel like it is restricted, and at that point throwing more repetitions and sets in. And then switch it up, go in the opposite direction. The key with all of those movements is to find restrictions, discomfort, and pain from that frozen shoulder, address it to help treat it a little bit better. If the exercises helped you, please support us by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to the channel too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.